What's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to be going over my 334-day investment update into Charles Schwab's SCHD. Man, let me tell you, the markets have been crazy. It looks like we want to sell off only to recover and then to sell off yet again. We've got job loss going on across the country, so lots of major corporations are laying people off. Credit card debt has surpassed the highest number here in the US than it ever has. And we are in the early stages of war with Iran. So there's a lot of stuff going on and the market has been impacted by all those outside factors. But there's just one thing that I've noticed, and that is that SCHD is at or near all-time highs, which is really crazy because in my last update, there were a lot of people that were saying, hey man, SCHD is dead. There are better investments out there that we could be putting our money into. And maybe that's true and maybe it's not. But see, here's the thing. When I'm investing in SCHD, it's not all about the price of the fund. That's great, but my look at this is a long-term play on Dividend. So that's why I'm investing in this position. And over the last month or so, we've just seen it continue to move to the upside. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that we may not see this pullback at some point, but it looks like it's one of the anomalies out there in the market where everything else is red, but SCHD is kind of defying what the other positions in the market are doing. Make sure you stick around because not only am I going to be going through how my investment has been performing, but I'm also going to be taking a look at some of the comments that you guys left me on my last video. Now, as you guys know, I really enjoy reading out the comments that you guys leave because a lot of the questions and the comments that you leave can be helpful to so many people. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. Let's take a look. So right now we're taking a look at my investment in SCHD. And as you could see, as of the recording of this video, my open P&L, $458.83, and I'm up 13.45, so almost 13.5% on my investment. Even with all the turmoil that's going on, my investment is in the green. And remember, I'm only investing $10 a day into this. I'm not including the weekends or holidays, so these are just trading days that I'm investing in, and I'm up almost 13.5%. Now, if we take a look to the right, we can see on the day, I'm down $28.30 or just 0.73%. So I'm down almost 1% on the day, not too bad. And then I have a total market value of $3,869.96. And I have a total cost of $3,411.13. And the average price that I've been able to purchase shares of SCHD, $27.60. And then I have a total quantity of 123.6. So a little over 123 and a half shares of SCHD. And my position ratio, 38.33%. Guys, I mentioned on my last video that I'm going to be watching my position ratio. I just started investing $5 a day into VTI on January 1st of 2026. So I'm really interested to see how will that impact the position ratio of the other funds that I have in this portfolio. And then the last price that I was able to purchase SCHD at was $31.31. All right, so now we're going to flip over. We're going to take a look a little bit deeper into SCHD, and we're going to take a look. So as of the recording of this video, we are trading at $31.26. And we opened on the day in the very first column here, $31.46. And we had a prior close of $31.54. If we take a look in the middle column here, we're going to see the 52-week high, which we have a brand new 52-week high for the recording of this video, $31.95, so almost $32 a share. And just remember, a month or two ago, everyone thought that SCHD was dead and that I was wasting my time investing in this position. I'm glad we stayed the course, stayed consistent, and just continued to ride it out, because this is our long-term investment play here. And then the 52-week low, $23.18. So we've been able to invest at the 52-week low and at the 52-week high. All right, so now we're gonna take a look at candlestick chart. I actually had this chart up earlier in the video, but I wanted to show it here again for you guys. So this is a 1-year candlestick chart. So each one of these candlesticks represents 1 year of trading in SCHD. So as you can see, this has a lot of momentum and it's continuing to move upwards. Will it continue? I don't know. I'm actually a little surprised when you take a look at the market and you see that it's red across the board in most sectors. But then we take a look at SCHD and we see that it's moving like this. So I'm not 100% what's going on, and I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to do a little investigating to kind of understand why this may be moving this way. But as of right now, I'm really liking the direction of this investment. All right, let's quickly just address dividends. The last dividend payout that I received for SCHD was back in December of 2025 in the amount of $28.61. And at the time, that was enough to actually purchase one full share of SCHD. Now, we are in line and scheduled to get a dividend payout at the end of March of 2026. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. It'll be based off of probably around 125 shares of SCHD. So I'm really looking forward to see what that's going to equate to. Is that a share and a half? Is it 2 shares? But my expectation as time goes by and we get through 2026, the last dividend payout that we get on the year, my expectation is going to be at least 3 to 4 shares that I get added just by having my dividends reinvested back into my position. So guys, it's been 334 days and we've invested on every single trading day since November 1st of 2024. And we're up almost 13.5% in this investment. I'm definitely liking where this is headed and I have no complaints about my overall investment at this time. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the comments that you guys left on my last video. Like I said previously, I like reading off some of the comments that you guys leave. And the very first comment that I'll read here is late to the party, but started SCHD this week. So you definitely jumped in as we were pulling up. But if you're planning on holding this position for the long term, we're talking 5+ years. And to be honest with you, 10+ years would even be better. Then I wouldn't worry too much about when you jumped in. Just make sure you stay consistent. So shout out to you for jumping in. The next comment that I'll read here is found your channel 2 weeks ago. I opened my Roth IRA in January, putting $150 a month right now. I listened to that book you recommended, Atomic Habits, really opened up my mind, and I'm going to chase that bag for the end of my working career. Now, guys, I really love seeing comments like this. It is one of the reasons that I actually started this investment channel. And I can tell you, Atomic Habits, it changed my life. If you haven't had an opportunity to check that book out, I'll leave a link down in the description below. I like listening to audiobooks. Atomic Habits is a phenomenal read. It really goes over the psychology of how habits are formed, good and bad. And then it gives you tips and tricks on how to turn bad habits into good habits. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, I'll leave a link down in the description below. All right, next comment. Last year, I bought 2,200 shares of SCHD. Man, that's a nice investment. If you're watching this video, drop a comment and let me know, what are your dividends looking like on 2,200 shares? I'm really curious to understand what that looks like. And I may actually do a video in the future about what the dividend payout would look like at 5,000 shares of SCHD, 10,000 shares and beyond, because I'm really interested in building out that dividend play whenever I'm no longer able to work. And then the last comment that I'll read, SCHD 52-week high. Absolutely. Again, we touched on this a little bit earlier in the video, and I'll be completely honest with you. From everything that I'm reading, I'm not sure why SCHD is kind of the anomaly out there. But I'm going to take a look at a lot of the bigger players that make up SCHD and see what those individual funds are doing in the market. But I'm not going to complain, up 13.5%. And it could be worse because my actual worst investment that I have right now in my portfolio, and I consider my Webull account and my Robinhood account one portfolio, is my investment in Bitcoin. I'm down big in that one right now, but everything else is green, even though the market has been pulling back. So guys, what do you think about my 334-day update in the Charles Schwab SCHD? I know that there are a lot of people out there that have went away from this position and they found other investments that fit their style, and that's completely fine. But based on what my portfolio is doing, what my investment is doing, I want to get your feedback on that and let me know. Are you back on the SCHD train, or have you given that up and now you're moving on to something else? Leave a comment down below and let me know.